The street war, Jumia, won without firing a shot. How Africa's e-commerce giant outplayed everyone in Nigeria. In 2014, a delivery rider in Lagos was chased by area boys who thought he was carrying cash for internet fraudsters. The box he dropped was not money. It was a Nokia phone ordered on Jumia for 3,000 naira. That same week, 3 other e-commerce startups shut down. Today, those area boys now use Jumia to buy power banks. What did Jumia see that others missed in Nigeria's brutal business jungle? If you are an entrepreneur, unemployed, underemployed, or trying to stretch every naira on social security, this story is not about Jumia. It is about you. Because the war Jumia fought in Nigeria's markets is the same war you fight every day for customers, for jobs, for survival. This is part 1 of 3. We are using Jumia as a live case study to decode how to handle competition when the odds, the power supply, and even the customers are against you. Part 1. The battlefield Nigeria and why Jumia's enemies underestimated it. Nigeria is not for the faint-hearted in business. Here, competition does not just mean other companies. It means poor roads that turn two-day delivery into 2 weeks, cash-only customers who do not trust online payment, import bans that change overnight, competitors who copy your website in 48 hours and undercut your price by 30%. When Jumia launched in Nigeria in 2012, everyone said e-commerce would fail. Nigerians like to touch before they buy, they said. No one will pay online. Logistics will kill you. They were right about the problems. They were wrong about Jumia. While others saw chaos, Jumia saw patterns. While others sold products, Jumia built trust. While others burned cash to win customers, Jumia built systems to keep them. Let us break down how. We will cover 8 principles Jumia used to handle competition in Nigeria. In part 1, we will tackle the first 3 principles. These 3 alone explain why Konga, Dealday, and dozens of others either sold out, pivoted, or vanished, while Jumia became the first African tech startup listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Principle 1. Win the trust war before the price war. What Jumia did. From day one, Jumia obsessed over pay on delivery. Competitors like Konga initially pushed online payments to look modern. Nigerians were not ready. Scams were everywhere. Jumia said, "Fine. You do not trust us yet. Pay when the rider arrives." They also introduced free returns within 7 days, no questions asked. If the shoe did not fit or the phone was fake, Jumia picked it up. That policy cost them millions in logistics. Had it bought something more expensive? Belief. Compare with others. Many small e-commerce sites in Computer Village and Alaba tried to compete on price alone. Our Samsung is 500 naira cheaper than Jumia's. But when the phone arrived and it was a refurbished clone, the customer never came back. The 500 naira they saved cost the seller a lifetime customer. Jumia Samsung might cost more, but it came with a warranty, return policy, and a human you could call. For you as an entrepreneur or job seeker, customers do not buy the cheapest. They buy the safest. If you are unemployed, think of your 105. Are you the cheapest applicant who will take any pay, or the safest applicant with proof, references, and a guarantee you will deliver? Trust is your pay on delivery option. Offer it first, then compete on price. Lesson for people on Social Security. Your small side hustle lives or dies on trust. If you sell Zobo or thrift clothes on WhatsApp, let customers pay after tasting or checking. That one move can kill competition from bigger vendors who demand full payment upfront. Principle 2. Build your own roads. When government will not. What Jumia did. Nigeria's logistics is broken. DHL and FedEx were too expensive for a 3,000 naira order. Local couriers were unreliable. So Jumia built Jumia Logistics, a network of thousands of riders, vans, and hubs across 36 states. They trained riders, gave them smartphones, and tracked every package. They also built hundreds of pickup stations. Why? Because home delivery fails when customers are not home, or when come to the junction turns into a 40-minute wait. With pickup stations, customers collected items on their way from work. Delivery success rates jumped. Compare with others. Deal Day, Jumia's early competitor in deals and discounts, relied on third-party logistics. When a courier delayed, Deal Day's brand took the hit. Customers did not blame the rider. They blamed Deal Day. When the delays piled up, Deal Day's daily deals stopped being deals and became delays. They shut down in 2018. For you as an entrepreneur or underemployed, do not outsource your reputation. If the most important part of your business depends on someone else, you do not own a business. You own a hope. Jumia owned its delivery. If you are a tailor, own your delivery by learning to sew faster, not just depending on one machine guy. If you are job hunting, own your delivery by learning the skill, not just depending on your certificate. Lesson for unemployed. Your logistics is your skill plus access. If you wait for government to create jobs, you are using third-party logistics. Build your own road. Learn phone repair, content creation, POS business. Create a pickup station for opportunity. Principle 3. Make your competitors' strength irrelevant. What Jumia did. Physical markets like Yaba, Aba, and Balogun have one big strength: instant gratification. You see it, you touch it, you take it home now. Jumia could not match that speed in 2012, so they changed the game. They introduced Jumia Anniversary Sales and Black Friday with discounts so deep that customers were willing to wait 3 days. Suddenly, waiting became part of the deal. They also expanded product range. Balogun Market might have 10 phone models. Jumia had 200, including models not yet in Nigeria. You cannot touch it now, but you cannot find it elsewhere either. Compare with others. Kanga tried to match Jumia's speed by building big warehouses too. That meant burning cash against a competitor already backed by Rocket Internet's deep pockets. Smaller players tried to match Jumia's discounts and bled out. They fought Jumia's game. Jumia forced them to play a game they had not prepared for. Selection plus convenience, plus financing. Today, you can buy a fridge on Jumia and pay monthly with Jumia Pay. Your local electronics store cannot do that. For you as an entrepreneur, stop competing on your rival's best field. If ShopRite has cheaper rice, do not sell rice. Sell cooked jollof rice to office workers who do not have time to cook ShopRite's rice. If you are a graduate competing with 10,000 others for one bank job, do not submit the same 105. Create a video 105 or solve a problem for the bank on LinkedIn first. Make their strength not matter. Lesson for people on social security. You do not need to be the fastest or cheapest. Be the only. If everyone in your street sells data, be the one who sells data plus helps people install apps plus sets up their phones. You just made the other data sellers irrelevant. Why this matters to you right now. Jumia did not win because Nigeria was easy. Jumia won because Nigeria was hard, and they adapted faster than anyone else. If you are unemployed, the job market is your Nigeria. If you are underemployed, your salary is your competition. If you are on social security, your limited funds are your logistics problem. The next 2 principles in Part 2 will show you how Jumia turned Nigerian problems into Nigerian moats that locked competitors out. We will also expose 3 mistakes that killed other companies so you do not repeat them. Coming up in Part 2, Principle 4. Use data like gossip. Know what customers want before they do. Principle 5. Turn your biggest cost into your biggest marketing plus. The 3 deadly mistakes that buried Jumia's rivals. Jumia's story proves one thing. In Nigeria, competition is not about who starts, it is about who adjusts. You'll move. Which of these 3 principles hit you the most? Are you fighting a price war when you should be fighting a trust war? Comment, trust, or roads, and let us talk. And if you want Part 2 sent directly to you, plus weekly breakdowns of how African companies win, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Retrain entrepreneurs, job seekers, and hustlers to think like Jumia, not like the companies Jumia left behind. See you in Part 2. The street war Jumia won without firing a shot. Part 2. Title: The Nigerian Problems That Made Jumia Rich, While Others Went Broke. In 2016, a competitor rented a massive warehouse in IKEA, filled it with TVs, and announced, "We will beat Jumia on delivery speed." 6 months later, the warehouse was empty, and the company was gone. Meanwhile, Jumia was renting small spaces inside petrol stations and letting customers pick up their TVs there. The competitor spent billions to solve a Nigerian problem. Jumia spent thousands to turn that same problem into profit. In Part 1, we saw how Jumia won the trust war, built its own roads, and made competitors' strengths irrelevant. If you missed it, go back and read it first, because Part 2 is where Jumia got ruthless. This is for you if you are an entrepreneur tired of losing to bigger players, unemployed and wondering why your applications get ignored, underemployed and feeling stuck, or managing life on Social Security and needing every naira to fight for you. Jumia's 3 principles will show you how to use the very things that scare your competition. Part 2. Turning Nigeria's Wahala into Jumia's weapon. Nigeria has problems every textbook says should kill e-commerce. No address system. No steady power. Customers who cancel orders after the rider is already at their door. Most companies spent money complaining. Jumia spent money adapting. Here are the next 3 of 8 principles Jumia used to handle competition in business in Nigeria. Principle 4. Use data like gossip. Know what customers want before they do. What Jumia did. In Nigerian markets, the best traders do not wait for you to ask. The woman selling tomatoes knows you will need pepper next. She's already bagged it. Jumia digitized that instinct. They tracked everything. What you clicked, but did not buy. What time Lagos people shop versus Kano people. Which phone models get returned the most. During rainy season, searches for umbrellas and power banks spike. Before December, Jumia already stocks generators and toys in October. That data became Jumia advertising. Now brands like Samsung, Benetton, and Dettol pay Jumia to show you ads because Jumia knows you better than your neighbor knows you. Data stopped being an ID cost. It became a revenue line. Compare with others. Many Instagram vendors and small e-commerce sites just post new stock available and pray. They do not know that most salary earners buy on the 25th to the 2nd of the month. They do not know that customers in Port Harcourt return fashion items twice as often as those in Abuja because of sizing. So they waste money on ads that run when customers are broke and they stock wrong sizes. Konga had data too, but Jumia moved faster. When Jumia saw that Nigerians loved mobile phones under 40,000 naira, they partnered with Infinix and Tecno to launch Jumia exclusive models. Konga was still waiting for Samsung to approve discounts. Jumia was creating demand. For you as an entrepreneur or job seeker, stop guessing. Track. If you sell on WhatsApp, write down what days people ask price, but do not buy. That is your data. If you are unemployed, track which job posts get to 100 applicants in 1 hour versus those that do not. That tells you where competition is low. Data is not for big companies. Data is gossip with a notebook. Lesson fact for people on Social Security. Your small capital is your data budget. Before you buy 10 pairs of shoes to resell, sell 1 pair on pre-order. See what size, what color, what area orders fastest. That is data. It stops you from using your little money to buy dead stock. Dead stock is the burial ground of side hustles. Principle 5. Turn your biggest cost into your biggest marketing. What Jumia did. Delivery in Nigeria is expensive. Fuel, riders, area boys, settlements, bike repairs. For most companies, logistics is a cost center you try to hide. Jumia made it a billboard. Every Jumia rider wears orange. Every Jumia box is branded. Every pickup station has Jumia signs. When you see 10 orange bikes at a total filling station in Surulere, your brain registers Jumia delivers here, even if you never ordered. Jumia's biggest daily expense became a daily ad campaign that competitors could not block. They went further. Jumia Logistics now delivers for other companies too. That means your competitor's product might arrive in a Jumia-branded van. Jumia gets paid to advertise to your customer while delivering your rival's goods. That is war. Compare with others. Konga Express and GIG Logistics are strong. But when you see a GIG bike, you think livery company. When you see a Jumia bike, you think I can buy stuff online. Small e-commerce sites use any rider available. The rider shows up in slippers, no brand, sometimes smelling of smoke. The customer remembers the bad experience, not your shop name. You pay for delivery. Jumia pay for delivery and got marketing free. For you, as an entrepreneur or underemployed, what is your biggest cost right now? Time? Transport? Data? Ask, how can I make this cost sell me? If you spend 2 hours daily in traffic going to a job that pays little, can you use that traffic time to learn a skill on your phone and then teach others? Your traffic cost becomes your content marketing. If you are a makeup artist, your transport to clients is a cost. But if you do a live video doing makeup in the kick, that cost just became an ad. Lesson for unemployed. Your job search is a cost. Printing CVs, data for LinkedIn, transport to interviews. Turn it into marketing. Instead of just applying, post on LinkedIn. Today I applied to 5 companies. Here is one thing I learned about the fintech industry. Now recruiters see you as active. Your cost became your brand. Principle 6. Borrow trust from giants and lend it to customers. What Jumia did, Nigerians did not trust Jumia in 2012, but they trusted MTN. They trusted banks. They trusted Samsung. So Jumia borrowed that trust. They put the MTN logo on the Jumia homepage for SIM and data sales. They partnered with Access Bank and GT Bank for Jumia Pay. They became the official online store for Samsung, Benetton, Adidas. When you saw Samsung at Jumia, your brain said, if Samsung trusts them, maybe I can. Then Jumia lent that borrowed trust to small sellers. A woman in Aba making bags would sell on Jumia, and suddenly she had Jumia-backed credibility. Customers who would never send money to at Ma Bags on IG would pay Jumia for Ma's bag. Jumia became a trust bank. Compare with others. Many new e-commerce platforms try to build trust from zero. We are secure shopping. Trust us. But trust is not claimed. It is transferred. Local markets have this already. You buy from the man your brother introduced you to. Online, most startups ignored this. They did not partner with known brands early. Hoax customers treated them like a stranger in a dark alley. Even Konga, though big, was slower to sign exclusive brand deals. Jumia locked in Phoenix first. That one deal brought millions of young Nigerians who wanted a good cheap phone to Jumia, not Konga. For you as an entrepreneur, who already has the trust of your customers, partner. If you are a new food vendor, do not fight Mama Put. Supply her Zobo and put your sticker on the bottle. You borrow her trust. If you are a freelance writer, get a testimonial from a known NGO or pastor. Do not say, I am good. Let someone they know say it. For you on social security or underemployed, you can borrow trust, too. If you braid hair, do the first to clients free for your church as pastor's wife inquire leader. Their hair is your billboard. Hair compliment is your Jumia pay. Trust is currency. Spend it wisely. Why your competitors are panicking and Jumia is not notice something. Jumia did not ask Nigeria to change. Jumia changed for Nigeria, then made Nigeria pay for the convenience. Your competitors want the customer to adapt. Come to my shop. Pay before delivery. No returns. Jumia said, we will come to your junction. You pay when you see it, and if you do not like it, we will come back. That is why Jumia could increase prices slightly and still win. Convenience. Beat cheap. If you are unemployed, stop telling employers to give you the chance. Show them how hiring you removes their wahala. That is Jumia's way. Coming up in Part 3. Principle 7. Build a business that survives your worst day. Principle 8. Make your customer sell for you plus. 3 deadly mistakes other companies made that you must avoid. And the biggest lessons learned for entrepreneurs, job seekers, and anyone fighting for financial freedom in Nigeria. Jumia's war is not over. New competitors like Temu and local social sellers are coming. But these 8 principles are why Jumia is still standing when others are not. Your move. Which principle from today shocked you most? Data, cost, or borrowed trust? Comment the word and tell me how you will use it this week. And do not forget, Part 3 drops next. We will break down how Jumia turns customers into an army and how you can too. Subscribe to my YouTube channel now, so YouTube alerts you the minute it lands. We are training a new generation of Nigerians who do not just compete. We adapt, we win. See you in Part 3. The final move. How Jumia checkmated Nigeria's first market and what it means for your hustle. In 2019, Jumia's stock crashed 40% in one day on the New York Stock Exchange. Headlines screamed, Africa's Amazon is failing. Competitors in Lagos popped champagne. 3 years later, those same competitors were gone, and Jumia was still delivering phones to Maiduguri. What did Jumia know about competition that everyone else missed? This is the final piece of the puzzle. Welcome to Part 3. In Part 1, we covered trust, logistics, and making rival strengths relevant. Part 2. If you missed it, go check my channel, Tackled Data and Turning Costs into Marketing. Today we close with the last 3 of the 8 principles, the 3 fatal mistakes that buried other companies, and the lessons you can use tomorrow morning whether you are unemployed, underemployed, or building your first business. Part 3. The Endgame Principles and the Graves of Jumia's Rivals. Principle 6. Localize, like your life depends on it, because it does. What Jumia did. Jumia did not copy Amazon. It copied Nigeria. They launched Jumia Food because Nigerians eat out but hate traffic. They created Jumia Pay because card fraud made people scared of online payment, so they built a closed wallet. They did Jumia Global to let you order from China because everyone's cousin already buys from AliExpress. During Ramadan, the homepage changes. During December, it is all hampers and generators. Even product photos changed. A blender on Jumia Nigeria is not shown making a smoothie. It is shown blending pepper for stew. That is localization. Compare with others. Many foreign-backed e-commerce plays came to Nigeria with a global template. They used models that worked in India or Brazil. One competitor shipped winter jackets to Lagos in July. Another ran Mother's Day campaigns in March, when Nigeria celebrates it in May. Customers felt the site was not for them. Konga, Jumia's closest rival, localized well early on, but later got acquired and lost that edge. Small Instagram vendors often win against big players today because they speak pidgin in captions, use OWOW pricing, and reply to DMS at 11 p.m. That is hyper-localization. Jumia learned. Global scale. Local soul. For you as an entrepreneur or job seeker, do not submit a global 105 in Nigeria. Put your NYSC, your church volunteer work, your ability to navigate Yaba traffic. If you sell, speak your customer's language. If you are on social security, your localization is knowing your street. The woman who sells akara at the junction outsells the supermarket's frozen akara because she knows Mr. Emeka likes his with extra onions. Be Mr. Emeka's akara vendor. Principle 7. Build an ecosystem, not just a store. What Jumia did. Selling phones was not enough. Jumia built Jumia Pay for payments, Jumia Logistics for delivery, Jumia Mall for official brand stores, Jumia One for airtime and bills, and Jumia Advertising for sellers. Think of it like this. If you buy a Techno phone on Konga in 2016, the story ended there. If you buy it on Jumia, Jumia Pay might give you cash back. Jumia Logistics delivers it. Jumia One reminds you to buy data for it. And Techno's official store on Jumia Mall sells you the charger when it spoils. You are trapped. In a good way. Compare with others. They sold vouchers. That is it. When customers finished the voucher, the relationship finished. OLX Nigeria let people list used goods, but did not control payment or delivery. Scammers took over, trust died. OLX exited Nigeria in 2018. They had customers, not an ecosystem. For you as an entrepreneur or underemployed, stop thinking product. Think circle. If you braid hair, do not just braid. Sell hair, sell treatment, teach a class, create a WhatsApp group for styles. If you are job hunting, do not just have a skill. Have a portfolio, a LinkedIn presence, a referral network, and a side project. That is your ecosystem. Hard to replace. Lesson for people on social security. Your ecosystem can be small. If you sell recharge cards, add phone charging, SIM registration, and plastic cover sales, the customer who comes for one thing stays for four. That is how you compete with a bigger kiosk across the road. Principle 8. Play the long game. When everyone else is playing the quarter, what Jumia did. Jumia lost money for 10 years straight. Investors shouted. Nigerians mocked. They have never made profit. But Jumia kept building warehouses, training sellers, educating customers about online buying. They knew Nigeria's e-commerce market was a baby. You do not judge a baby by how much salary it earns. In 2023, Jumia cut costs, closed countries that were not working, and focused on Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, Morocco. They played long enough to see the market mature. Today, a teenager in Surulere, who grew up seeing Jumia ads, now orders sneakers without fear. Jumia raised that customer. Compare with others. Many startups raised money in 2015, blew it on billboards and Instagram influencers, and needed profit in 18 months. When it did not come, they died. Efforton, a classified site backed by Southside, shut down in 2017 because Nigerians were not ready. Jumia stayed and made Nigerians ready. For you as an entrepreneur or unemployed, stop measuring your life in weeks. Jumia's first profit in Nigeria took over a decade. Your coding skill, your small farm, your YouTube channel might take 3 years. The people who win are the ones who stay in the game after the halftime whistle when the crowd has gone home. 3 fatal mistakes that buried Jumia's competition. Mistake 1. Confusing marketing with trust. Companies spent on celebrity endorsements and flashy launches but had no return policy. One phone seller in Akita hired Davido for a campaign. The phones came late and many were faulty. Customers said, "Davido cannot help me return this." Jumia spent less on celebrities and more on call centers. Lesson: noise brings customers once, trust brings them back. If you are job hunting, a flashy suit will not help if your references do not pick up calls. Mistake 2. Scaling chaos. Some competitors opened in 5 cities at once before Lagos worked. Riders were stealing packages in Abuja, while Port Harcourt had no pickup stations. They scaled problems, not solutions. Jumia expanded city by city, fixing Lagos before touching Kano. Lesson: do not open branch 2 until branch 1 can run without you. If you are underemployed, master 1 skill deep before learning 5 shallow ones. Mistake 3. Fighting Jumia on Jumia's turf. Countless sites tried to be the next Jumia, with the same wide catalog. But they had no logistics, no pay on delivery, no brand trust. It's opening a new fuel station directly opposite Total and selling at the same price. Why would anyone switch? Smart competitors today do not fight Jumia. They dominate niches. Furniture only, phones only, food only. Lesson: if you cannot be the biggest, be the only. If everyone is applying for banking jobs, become the only candidate who build a savings app for traders. Lessons learned. Your Jumia playbook from 8 principles and 3 graves. Here is your cheat sheet. 1. Sell safety first, product second. Trust is the real currency. 2. Own the hard part. Whatever scares your competitors is your moat. 3. Do not copy global, adapt local. Pepper blend the strategy. 4. Build circles, not lines. One sale should lead to the next. 5. Stay long enough to be right. Markets mature. People learn. If you are unemployed, your hard part might be learning a skill while hungry. Own it. If you are underemployed, your ecosystem is your personal brand. After 5 p.m. build it. If you are on social security, your localization is knowing what your community needs at 6 a.m. serve it. Closing Jumia did not win Nigeria because Nigeria was easy. Jumia won because it respected how hard Nigeria is, and it built for that reality. Competition in Nigeria is not about price. It is about pain. Who removes more pain for the customer wins. So I will ask you, what pain are you removing for your customer, your employer, your street? Answer that, and you have just used Jumia's playbook, without ever writing a line of code. This ends our 3-part case study. But your own case study starts now. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for Part 2 if you missed it, and for weekly tiered towns of African businesses you can learn from. We turn stories like Jumia's into steps you can use on Monday morning. No theory, just playbooks.